there, I'm Shelby, and I think I said hi really loud just now, so I'm gonna start that over. Hi there, I'm Shelby, and I love Shakespeare. Shakespeare requires memorization, and a lot of people ask me for memorization tips, so here are my top 7, and hopefully at least one, if not all of them, will help you out. Here are 7 quick tips on how to memorize. Tip number 1, this I actually got from French class in high school called Duminute et Duminute, which is French for 2 minutes and 2 minutes. So what 2 minutes is my cool French teacher talking about? The 2 minutes right before you go to bed or fall asleep, and then the 2 minutes as soon as you wake up. Scientifically, apparently, that's when your body is shutting down and has a lot more bandwidth in which to take in information. And I think the computer machine part of our brain takes whatever it processed right before bed and actually processes it all night. So it's kind of getting like 8 hours of extra memorization. So ideally, before you go to bed and right when you wake up, you read the speech out loud 3 times. Out loud is very important because a lot of us can go, not the same. Your body has to remember it in order for it to keep memorizing over the night. So read it out loud at least 3 times. And if you're feeling extra ambitious or the memorization deadline is coming up super fast, don't go to bed until you have once through successfully said it out loud memorized. But if you have a little bit of time to memorize something, then just break it into chunks and say, okay, tonight I'm going to test myself on these 2 lines. And then the next night I'll test myself on 4 lines, and et cetera, et cetera. Tip number 2 is kind of similar to the end of tip number 1. Say it out loud, memorized as soon as possible, meaning get your guess out there and enjoy failing, because if it's horrible the first time, it will be better the next time. But as soon as you can start testing yourself, the better. Even when I think I have all of my lines memorized, something happens when I say, hey, will you run lines with me? And then someone says the line before that I have by myself completely succeeded at many times. And yet with someone else testing you, I suddenly forget everything. So make sure to test yourself as soon as possible and just get that going. Number 3 is the crazy way that I memorize, which might not work for everyone, but it really works for me. Memorizing is so hard for me. You guys, super, super hard. When I performed Rosalind in 2015, which is the largest female Shakespeare role in the canon, it took me 6 months to memorize it, and I still showed up with a few scenes not quite all there. And I could not have even gotten to that point without this technique. Say it 1 word at a time. Meaning, let's say we're memorizing, I left no ring with her, what means this lady? Viola from Twelfth Night by William Shakespeare. I left no ring with her, what means this lady? So the word by word technique is this. I left no. I left no ring. I left no ring with. I left no ring with her. I left no ring with her, what? I left no ring with her, what means? I left no ring with her, what means this? I left no ring with her, what means this lady? Right? Especially with a lot of lines. Talk about time consuming, but I will tell you what, it completely helps to cut down the time in which your body and mind fuse with these words. But the gift that you're giving yourself with this technique is that you've only had to learn or memorize 1 new word at a time. So your brain can focus on the new one. And it also signals to the brain, oh, all those other ones I totally know, but this word is the one I have to focus on. So you're going to give each word its due and attention. And then by doing more and more word by word moments, you'll have said all of these words so many times. And it's really helped me. So I hope it helps you. And the rest of these tips are much quicker than that one. So quick tip number 4, say it in different voices. This can be accents like Scottish. I left no ring with her, what means this lady? Or archetypes like butler. I left no ring with her, what means this lady? There's something that happens when we put something that is so dissonant to what the text is you're actually doing, unjostles in our brain when we're so nervous and trying to memorize this and frustrated, and then suddenly do it in an accent. And then I'm like, kind of focusing on the accent instead of the words. And sometimes, per my cosplay Shakespeare experiments, you can find something kind of new in the text by doing it a different way. And also some of these voices, types, accents, dialects really warm up your face. So I actually warm up in Scottish most of the time for my Shakespeare productions, which really helped with Lady Macbeth because she technically is Scottish. Quick tip number 5. I've never tried this, but one of my students told me that chewing mint gum while you're memorizing something triggers something physiologically in your brain that helps retain it. So again, never tried it, but I've heard multiple people take that advice from that student and they ran up to her and were like, dude, that totally works. So if it helps you, great. I do know that essential oil wise, peppermint oil can help focus. So there's something about that because science. Quick tip number 6. Some of you are audio learners. So if you take whatever you're trying to memorize and do just a voice memo on your phone, just listen and let it wash over you. And you might be surprised at what you retain, even without consciously trying to. Just like if we listen to a song multiple times, it kind of gets in us. Same thing with an audio message. And if you don't want to keep pressing the play button, then do one kind of long recording where you say the thing that you're trying to memorize 3 times. Maybe in slightly different ways. Maybe one of them's in a fun accent. And my last quick tip, number 7, is write what you need to memorize out or print it on a piece of paper and have it physically with you at all times. We have so many little breaks during the day. Think about how many times you check your phone. Instead of whipping out your phone, whip out your speech and say it right then and there. Even if you only get a few lines down, you'll have touched it during the day. And just like at night, with that 2 minutes before you go to sleep, 2 minutes when you wake up, and your brain is processing all night, if you slowly check whatever you're trying to memorize during the day, and you only get a little bit fresh in your mind, that's going to keep mulling over. Just like when we get a text, it's either great or awful, and it stays in our brain. Let's just replace that with something you're trying to memorize. Because per that example, your brain's already working on stuff. So you just need to make sure that whatever you want it to work on is your choice instead of what is at the behest of your circumstances. So those are 7 quick tips I use to memorize speeches or scenes or full productions. So whatever you're memorizing, I hope this helps. If any of these tips were valuable to you, let me know by clicking the thumbs up below and let me know in the comments which you think will be the most helpful and which you're going to try next. For even more performance advice and some Shakespeare shenanigans, make sure to subscribe below and I will see you back here soon. Anon! Sorry if you hear train sounds in the back. I live next to a train. Yay, I see the ant. I'm excited.